Paul Safer on West River Road. Can you come up and speak in the, can you speak up at the podium? Are you able to walk up?
I don't think it's really important what I'm going to say. I'm here as a support for Marsha Jones. I live on a Birchview, and that is so destroyed for all these years. It's you can play on the radio, shake, rattle, and roll. It's because it's such a bad, and I'm kind of unhappy. It was not included in all this good work you're doing all around View. But that Birchview also needs some help. If you can look into it.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Marsha?
I'm Marsha Jonas, and I reside at 1347 Birchview. It's a home that I purchased back in '96, so I've owned it close to 30 years. I'm only just now returned to it as my place of residence, having lived in Kentucky for 25 years. So I have a better feel for what's going on with that street. And here recently, I took it upon myself to talk to just about every resident on that street that was available to speak with. I'm actually surprised they're not here tonight, because I was given assurances from a lot of them that they would be, but that's neither here nor there. I guess it's on me. Okay, my two primary concerns about that street is safety concerns and then protection of property, both homes and the vehicles. Safety concerns being the citizens and the visitors, and then our homes. I have it broken down here, and I can give credence to each of my concerns in all areas. First of all, in talking with the different residents of that street, they brought up things that I wasn't even privy to. So I'm going to share some of the things that they brought to my attention. One individual, actually two individuals, told me that they have sought the city's help, or for them to listen to the problem and address the issues of getting the streets fixed properly, the street rather. And this one individual said, it may have been two, that they were told that it was not a concern of the city's because it was not a through street. So that prompted me to look into what exactly is a through street. And I'll read the definition for you what a through street is. A through street is a street where the primary flow of traffic is given priority, meaning vehicles on the street have the right of way at intersections, and vehicles entering or crossing it are required to yield or stop. Okay, so if you look at the intersection of Birchview and Hollyview, which is towards the one end of Birchview, we are not required to stop. Hollyview, even though it would give the appearance that Hollyview is the through street because it is so lengthy, it is not. We pass through all the way to the intersection of West River and Birchview. Okay, so we are the through street, and a lot of the people that come down our street are not only residents, but they're also family and friends going directly to that street, but they're also people that are driving from, say, Route 60 or the high school or that general area to get to Hollyview. And I know this because I have a mom that lives on Hollyview, and that was the route we always took when I wasn't living there, and my siblings. And then I know some of the citizens that live over there, and they also take that route. So and a lot of them are no longer taking this route because they are avoiding the street because it's so bad. They are going out of their way. I myself, I live on the street, and I try to calculate which is going to be the least wear and tear when I pull out of my driveway, turning to the right or turning to the left. And when I return home, say from Route 60, I drive through down Sailor Way, pick up Sanford, take it out to I don't know what the name of that street is, Langford maybe, out to West River, down to Birchview. I'm trying to hit all the good streets and then hit my street the last, so that I'm not doing undue wear and tear on my vehicle that I want to last a long time. The economy's not the best, and I don't want to be turning around buying new tires, buying new this, buying new that, or even a new vehicle just because the street is so poorly maintained. Okay, so, oh, and I wanted to add too, there are people that I know for a fact are driving down that street to get to the other areas, say Hollyview, that are, say with delivery drivers and such, they don't maybe know to avoid it. And so they're forced to have to contend with that street. And does their impression of that street make it outside of the city? That's not good. And I know that they're being sent down that way if they're using MapQuest, because sometimes when I'm returning from a place, I put in home as my destination, and I just let it play. I just ignore it. Or I'll put my mom's address, which is the street behind if I want to swing by her house on my way home. And it will invariably take me down my street to her house. So MapQuest is sending people that, unbeknownst to them, they're in for the ride, that's for sure. I wanted to compare, from my understanding, the streets that are up for review, or maybe they're even taking it a step further than the review process. I know Pineview is getting the sidewalks right now, but I think that they are also slated to get a new street and Brownham Township. And also, it's my understanding that the last remaining section that was not done on Hollyview is also under consideration. That being potentially not with government grants. And I'm thinking maybe we should edge in ahead of that, because I drove all around, yes, Brownham Township's road. That street is deplorable, but they have a higher speed limit. So you're going to feel how bad that is, and you won't feel it as bad when you slow down than our street. As far as Hollyview, they have sidewalks. We're forced to walk in the street because we don't have sidewalks. So our vehicles have to contend with how bad the street is, but then anybody on foot also has to contend with that. And we have children on the street that are just starting school. It's a matter of time before, I believe, the bus pickup is just to the right or to the left of them. And if they choose to walk, they're going to have to deal with it. I saw the neighbor lady pushing her new baby. The baby's like 9 months old. First nice days of this year down our street. And I thought, man, you're a gutsy woman to be tackling this, because I've injured myself on the street. And we'll get into that in a minute. But, and then we have elderly people, and I'm going to keep myself out of that mix for now, although I understand I'm right there on the border, but walking for exercise, and I do walk my dogs down the street. And that's how I got injured, because of all the potholes that you can't see because of standing water, because of the poor patch jobs, that the water can't even drain to the storm sewer drains, because it's patch job on the patch job on top of patch job, mounding, and the water sits between these two mountains, can't possibly get to the drain. And this is consistently up and down the street. And if you go to walk an animal and it's dark, and that's another problem with it, there's no street light between, I'm at 1347, 1327 I think is the closest street light, which is relatively close, but then down at the other end of the street is the next street light. So if you don't have neighbors that are wanting to don some sort of lights on their property, you're in the dark. If you happen to choose to walk in the evening, and what are you going to do in the wintertime anyways? And the same with the drainage freezing in the wintertime. That's a concern, because again, the water can't get to the storm drains. And then also we have some homes that dump right into the street, their sump pumps, push it right out through, I want to say there's some sort of flex drain line, comes right out of the curb, and we literally, and Drew can attest to this, he came out and looked at it, And my other neighbor, he said, when we were discussing our conversation of it being an inch thick, he said, I've seen it 4 inches thick. That's not good for somebody wanting to drive down that street. That's not good for somebody wanting to walk down that street. If you're elderly and you fall, that could be the end of your life. But anyways, let me get back on track here. So the issue with why I think we should take precedence over a number of the streets that I guess I'm going to have to focus on Hollyview, if my understanding is correct, that is up for consideration. Once again, they have sidewalks. So you have sidewalks in a bad street, and then you have our situation, no sidewalks in a bad street. And then in looking at all the other streets in Valley View, and most of the city, they have sidewalks, or they have no sidewalks in a good street. There's only really 2 streets that I can conjure up where there is, and there may be a couple more, but no sidewalks, bad street. And if I want to address the difference between Timberview and Birchview, Timberview does have some bad sections, but their biggest problem is the bucking horse thing, which you don't feel when you're walking, and you're not going to get injured dealing with that situation when you're walking. So at least that's one plus that they have. I take the bucking horse over what we got. Okay. I've also been told by other residents, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the repairs went from halfway decent repairs to over the years, now they just spray some tar in it, throw some stones in it, and we have to drive over it to mush it down, flatten it out. They don't even do, I guess there's a way to do it where they stick around and they make sure that it's level with the street mat. They don't, they just leave and leave it to us.
We do have a time limit, and I've certainly allowed you to go over it because you're speaking for so many people and using Mr. Safer's time. If you could wrap it up in another minute, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty. I just wanted to add that also, I was told there's creeping occurring with the streets and pushing our driveways up into our homes. And I've discussed the drain sewer problem, and I'm looking to, out of my own money, tie into it somehow. And then lastly, I want to add, it's bad I guess I can't get into all that. When you have a policeman tell you that he doesn't even drive down your street because it's that bad. Yeah. So, okay, and I'll leave it with that.
Thank you.
Do you want to comment on any of that for me while I'm here tonight?
I don't have a comment other than to say I agree 100% with you that I will not drive on that street unless I have to. And that is the condition of several other streets.
Now, is Hollyview under consideration? Am I correct in that?
To my knowledge, we have already made the decision for the you mentioned them both, Pineview and Brown Elm Station. Those are the 2 streets that were.
But that's grant money, correct?
No, that's our money.
That's our money.
Mm-hmm. But I just want you to know, all I can
How
say.
are we always getting, in 61 years, getting pushed to the 61 years? I know this because I'm 61. That's when that road is.
I know what you're talking about. I understand.
So I'll come back at every meeting until maybe we can get this done.
Just real quick,
Ms. Jones, did you have something written out that you could give to the clerk?
No, just my notes.
Okay.
Okay, we got it done.
All right, thank you.
Oh, is this recorded, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, thank
It's
you.
never going away.